Namaskar. So this is our second model, second lecture. We are going to start our first model. It is about combustion of fuel and air-fuel ratio. So in this lecture, we will discuss introductory part of our first model. So people generally use wood, cow dung cakes, crop residues, then kerosene oil, coke or LPG gas. So these are some fuels used for cooking the food. For running vehicles we use petrol or diesel oil. For factories we use coal or fuel oil or natural gas. So the materials such as wood, coke, LPG, petrol, diesel, natural gas have one property. This means common property, that they produce heat on burning, which is then put into different uses. So some material on burning produces flame and some material do not produces flame. For example, candle or coal gas on burning produces flame, but not the coal or charcoal. So let us study some chemical process of burning and types of flame produces. So it is required while studying of combustion. So combustion means what? So some substances like magnesium catches fire and burns with dazzling white flame when heated in the air. Similarly, when piece of pear is brought near candle flame, it burns and producing heat and light. Charcoal and coal burns in air producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. So air or oxygen which helps in burning is called supporter of combustion, and the chemical reaction which takes place with the release of heat and light energy is called combustion. Okay, what is combustion? Here the chemical reaction which takes place with the release of heat and light energy. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. The substance which undergoes combustions are known as combustible substances. It may also called as fuel. So it goes under combustion. So sometimes heat is accompanied by light either as a flame or as a glow during combustion. So fuel may be solid, liquid or gas. A combustion reaction may be written as, so when charcoal burns in air to give carbon dioxide and heat, that is CO2. So C plus O2 equal to CO2 plus heat. And if methane burns in air, carbon dioxide, water and heat is generated. CH4 plus 2O2, that gives CO2 plus 2H2O plus heat. So this is a reaction when combustion takes place. So there are some fuels require ignition, some fuel requires heat to get burn out. So everywhere the supporters are required, means oxygen is required everywhere. Let us discuss types of combustion. So combustion is mainly three types, that is rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion and explosive combustion. What is rapid combustion? So the combustion in which the gas burns rapidly and produces heat and light is called rapid combustion. For example, when burning a matchstick is brought near a gas burner and When burning matchstick is brought near a gas burner and gas tap is opened, the gas immediately starts burning and the production of heat and light, that is petrol, LPG, spirits, these are rapid combustion. Okay, just ignition is sufficient to get burned. Then spontaneous combustion, that is combustion in which no external heat is given, is known as spontaneous combustion. While burning of white phosphorus in the air is a spontaneous combustion. For example, that is phosphorus. Then explosion, a combustion in which the large amount of gases are evolved with the production of a tremendous amount of heat, light and sound is called explosion. Okay. When a cracker is ignited, a sudden reaction, oxidation process takes place, and in which at a high speed large amount of gas is evolved with the production of tremendous amount of heat, light and sound. So these are three types of combustion: rapid combustion, spontaneous combustions and explosions. Now let us discuss difference between rapid and spontaneous combustion. So rapid combustion is to be initiated once, but spontaneous it takes place by itself. Rapid combustion, external heat is required to start it once, but in case of spontaneous combustion no external heat is required to start it. In case of rapid combustion, large amount of heat and light is evolved in a short time, but in case of spontaneous combustion small amount of heat and light is evolved. So for rapid combustion, the burning of domestic cooking gas in gas burner is one example. In case of spontaneous combustion, burning of white phosphorus and its own when kept exposed in air this is one example. Okay, let us discuss different types of flames. So what is flame? So when matchstick catches fire and is burned, the heat released due to the burning of chemicals on the match head, okay, the partly decomposes. Okay, so let us discuss the structure of flame. So light of wax candle or watch its flame. Okay, so carefully note different colored zones in the flame. So starting from base of flame, the flame has 4 zones. One is blue zone, second is dark zone, third is luminous zone, and outermost is non-luminous zone. So blue zone, it is near to the base of the flame. So vaporized wax gets oxidized in carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide burns completely with the blue flame in this zone. Then dark zone, that is surrounding the wick, is the dark zone. There is no burning in this zone. If we pass a wooden splinter through a dark zone of flame, it comes out unburned, showing that there is no burning in this zone. However, some burned wax vapors are present in this zone. Then luminous zone. So in luminous zone, in this region, the flame hydrogen burns with brilliant yellow luminous flame. Burning hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water vapor. Carbon also burns in this zone, giving some luminosity to the flame and producing carbon dioxide. Some unburnt carbon particles are left which give rise to soot. In case of luminous zone, it is yellow zone also called as, and the outermost is called non-luminous zone. This zone is poorly visible and slightly blue. It is the hottest part of the flame where complete oxidation of fuel is taking place. So this is what the structure of flame. This is a candle light. So every flame has such structures. So let us discuss what is fuel then. So today's lecture we are going to discuss some basics. What is fuel? So any substance which is easily available and burns in air. Any substance which is easily available and burns in air at a moderate rate, producing large amount of heat energy without leaving behind any undesirable residue is called fuel. So example of fuel is wood, charcoal, petrol, kerosene. These are some of the examples. What is ideal fuel? So there is probably actually no fuel is ideal that could be considered as ideal fuel. Okay, no fuel is ideal. So we should look for fuel which fulfills most of the requirements of the particular use. Let us discuss characteristics of good fuel. So fuel should be cheap and readily available. It should be easy to store. It should be burned at slow rate and its combustion should be controllable. It should have low ignition temperature. It should produce very small amount of residues such as ash. It should have large calorific value. It should not produce gases which pollute the air. It should not produce any hazardous during the transportation. So these are some general characteristics you must find in fuel while selecting the fuel. So let us classify fuel. In your 12th science or in school level also you study different types of fuel or classification of fuel. But anyhow, we have different applications. We must know different types of fuels and properties of different fuels. Okay, on the basis of physical state, fuels are classified into 3 categories, 3 parts. One is solid fuel, second is liquid fuel, and third is gaseous fuels. Solid fuels means what? The fuel which occurs in a solid state at room temperature are called solid fuels. So wood, agricultural residues, charcoals, coal, coke, these are some solid fuels. Then liquid fuels, the fuel which occur in a liquid state at a room temperature are called as liquid fuels. So liquefied hydrogen, petrol, oil, kerosene, diesels, these are some examples of liquid fuel. And then last is gaseous fuel. So the fuel which occurs in gaseous state at a room temperature are called gaseous fuels. For example, water gas, producer gas, coal gas, natural gas, and gobar gas. So these are some examples of gaseous fuels. So once you know different types of fuel, so let us discuss fuel efficiency. You know what is efficiency? Efficiency means it is a given output. Okay, the amount of heat energy produced on completely burning of fuel. So with respect to input to output divided by input is efficiency. So efficiency, fuel efficiency of fuel is depends upon calorific value. What is calorific value then? So amount of heat energy produced on completely burning 1 kilogram of fuel is called calorific value of fuel. So more is the calorific value of fuel, more is the efficiency of the fuel. Calorific value of the fuel is expressed in kilojoules per kilogram, kJ per kg. Okay, kilojoules energy per kilogram of fuel. So in this way it is expressed kilojoules per kg or kilojoules per gram. The calorific value of common solid, liquid and gaseous fuels are, you can see in a table. Okay, the calorific value of solid fuels, the cow dung cake, it is having 6000 to 8000 kilojoules per kg, wood is having higher 17,000 to 22,000, and coal is having very high calorific value, that is 25,000 to 33,000 kilojoules per kg. Then calorific value of liquid fuel is higher than solid fuel, that is petrol having 48,000, kerosene having 35,000, and diesel is having 45,000 calorific value. Then gaseous fuel, so methane is 50,000, butane is 50,000, CNG is 50,000, biogas is 35,000 to 40,000, and hydrogen is having 1,50,000 kilojoules per kg. So this is the calorific value, means amount of heat energy generated by burning 1 kg of fuel. Okay, so heat generated in kilojoules is given per kg of fuel is given here in the tables. So depending upon this, the fuel efficiency is. So fuel efficiency is depending upon this calorific value. So we are using fuels, the combustion takes place, the reactions takes place, but is it is useful, the power is generated is useful in to work get done, okay, but some harmful effects are there. We must know these harmful effects, so that we can avoid or reduce these harmful effects by taking some remedial actions. So increasing fuel consumptions has harmful effect on the environment. Already in school level or in previous classes 11, 12, so you or in previous years you studied. So this is very basic. So carbon fuels like wood, coal, petroleum release unburnt carbon particles. So carbon particles of smoke or ash get suspended in the air. So excess amount of them in the air causes breathing problems. Sometimes incomplete combustion forms carbon monoxide gases. It is very poisonous gas. So it is dangerous to burn coal in a closed room. A carbon monoxide gas produced can kill person sleeping in that room. Okay. So combustion of most fuels releases carbon dioxide in the environment. So increased percentage of carbon dioxide in the air causes global warming. Global warming. What is global warming? Is the rise of temperature of the earth. This result in what? So when temperature increases, so many ill effects are there. Okay, we'll see. There may be chances of rise in sea level or floods in the sea coast. Burning of coal and diesel releases sulfur dioxide. It is an extremely suffocating and corrosive gas. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide dissolves in a rainwater to form acid. So acid rains. Such rain is called acid rain, and it is very harmful on crops, buildings and soils. So wood is also used as a fuel. So sometimes burning of wood gives a lot of smokes which causes air pollution and is also very harmful for humans. It may lead to many respiratory problems. So cutting of trees for obtaining wood leads to deforestation, which is quite harmful to the environment. So these are some harmful effects while considering the combustion, while selecting the fuel or way of using of fuel. So we should consider these harmful effects so that we can avoid these harmful effects, and we can create some environment friendly products. Okay. Then so in today's lecture we'll discuss the introductory part of combustion of fuel, and in next lecture we'll discuss the air fuel ratio, the stoichiometric air fuel ratios, and different examples we'll see for today's lecture. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, you clear your doubts. Okay, thank you very much.